Let me put a banner. Let me play my theme song.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm sorry?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and this is a spontaneous live recapping the Real Housewives of New Jersey, tonight's new episode. First of all, thank all of you guys for all of your kind words, and I've been taking all of your advice and drinking green tea and honey, and my voice is getting a little bit better, but you guys are gonna have to bear with me. So before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, and we'll kind of we'll start a little slow and let the room get filled up. Make sure you guys are commenting. Hey, yo, hi. Thank you so much. I was literally drinking like green tea and peppermint, so it's magic. Thank you so much for joining. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? There's a lot to unravel here, guys. First of all, Marge has been on the press train. Did you guys see her on Watch What Happens Live? Wow. She made a couple powerful statements about YouTubers or podcasters, content creators who had interviewed Laura Lee Jensen, who is the ex best friend. And she referred to these people as low lifes, I think was the word. Low life. We're talking real Andy BH. He'd been featured on CNN. Martinis with Eddie, Roxanne from All About the Truth. These are just a couple of the different podcasters that interviewed Laura Lee Jensen. I think Dana Wilkie too may have interviewed her. So that's kind of got people pissed off about that. And then, just in general, the fact that she calling Jennifer a drug addict and just she just is looking pretty nasty. What do you guys think? Yo-Yo says Marge is poison. Word is she might be next to be the exit off. She is coming off like a bitter Betty, a petty Patty. Like it's not a good look. I don't know if it's the edit, but I don't think so. I just think that the veil is starting to be lifted. She had surgery, and every time they show her and Joe, they're like grooming each other, or they're talking about grooming each other and nose hairs and wiping ass and all kinds of. I'm like, I don't want to hear about Marge and Joe and like their hygiene anymore. If they could just skip that, that would be great. Please rate tonight's episode though, guys, on like a scale, like a grading scale, like A, B, C, D, or F. And let me know what you guys think about the overall episode. Make sure that you guys are hitting like on this video. It definitely makes a difference. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I have a lot of tea. Just to kind of recap, I did a video yesterday on Real Housewives of New Jersey, Joe Gorga, and I told you guys some tea about how he basically, sorry guys, sorry, he basically, well, Melissa has a cousin or a niece. Melissa has a niece, and Melissa's niece had a business idea, and she went to Louie allegedly and said, like, pumped him up. I want to be business partners. I have this great idea. He invested $25K on good faith and didn't get a business out of it, right? So my source is just is very right about everything, right? So I don't just come to you guys and tell you a DM that somebody sent me. Like I look into it. I look into who sent me stuff. I verify. Like where they might be filming or a restaurant or different things like that that help me to know that the information they give me is authentic, right? Sometimes I have two different sources that give me the same information. And then I usually know, okay, we're good. But a lot of the information comes from Melissa's side. And it just makes me wonder if she, has someone in her group that doesn't align with her moral compass as much as she may think, because they are spilling a lot of tea. There's more to this story. I'm just kind of, again, waiting on some verification before I come to you guys with it. But it has to do with money and bad business deal, another bad business deal, as if the niece situation wasn't bad enough. We have Kim D on Behind the Velvet Rope. She caught the Gorgas. They're remodeling their house. The house they just remodeled. They got tarps all over the place. Allegedly, there's a leak. But we know, guys, that house was, it was the joke of every TikTok influencer, designer, interior decorator, contractor, realtor. Everyone was dogging their house. So it's just crazy that they're remodeling it, unless if they're anticipating a pay cut. It's very possible. Allegedly they're pitching, TV shows to different networks, anyone that will take it. They want to do like a Joanna Gaines ship type thing. And they're basically trying to get big names to co-sign for them with a network, and nobody will do it. Kim D is planning to bring Laura Lee on. Yes. Yes. David and Kim D are planning on bringing Laura Lee on, and David said she better have some new shit. And Kim D had her going through her text messages, which I think is like so funny. Kim D's like, "Oh no, girl, I know you got more dirt than that." Now, did you guys hear the dirt on Danielle Cabral? First of all, what do you guys think about Rachel going and telling the ladies what Danielle told her and what Teresa and Jennifer told her? When Teresa said, pay attention and take notes, I felt like she was just giving them good advice. Like, you're working with the best in the industry. You're working with Teresa Giudice, who's been on the show since day one. Like, Teresa, mother effing Giudice. Like, take notes, be teachable, like, pay attention. This is your first season. Take notes on what everyone's doing. Make sure that you're paying attention to what everyone around you is doing so that you can have a better perspective on people. And I almost feel like she was a little bit offended by it. What substance does Marge have on this show? I'm confused why she's here. I agree. She's got a lot of lawsuits pending as well. I think they're in financial trouble. There's two that come to the top of my head. There was a couple that loaned them a lot of money in cash, and they had to sue them. And Marge was supposed to make payments, and she defaulted on that. And then there was another couple who was like their business partners, and they helped pay for the house and the land that Marge owns. She owns about half of the whole entire street. Margaret don't wear underwear, so her birth has to snatch Rachel is straight hypocrite to act like she don't like drama running her mouth. None has sucked the life out of the show. So she has a lot of financial trouble. We don't see her children. She played out the Marge Senior storyline. How many years did we have to see Marge Senior relive the trauma of being a young mother in the 70s, right? Marge, Melissa, and are the Robin and Giselle of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I agree with you. They definitely have an alliance. Melissa made a big mistake when she confided in Marge about the extra things that she may or may not have been doing on the side. And that basically, she could never turn on Marge after the things that she confided in her. I believe they make this stuff up on others and they hide their stuff to cover up for each other. Absolutely, I agree with you. Again, alliances are never good. Melissa and Marge definitely have an alliance, because you can't tell me that Melissa was not pissed off when she found out that Marge had confided in Laura Lee Jensen about what may or may not have been happening, right? Marge was there, so she already was seeing it take place, likely encouraging it. Again, we're talking about Nick. This is the guy that allegedly Melissa was, doing the hanky panky with, and he is best friends with Tom, and Tom is Melissa and Marge's publicist. So it would be the four of them going out, doing press at the restaurants, drinking it up, free drinks after the press, and just really going out a lot. Joe Gorga actually tells us this 2 seasons ago when they were talking about their relationship. And he basically said COVID saved their relationship because Melissa was going out all the time prior to that. And I think that's so telling. It's just so telling that she was going out with Margaret and Tom and this man, Nick. There's also rumors, guys, that even the Glam Squad was instructed to not take calls from Joe Gorga and to never let him know who was in attendance in their group, i.e., Nick or even Tom, because I think Joe Gorga is smart enough to know that where there's Tom, there's a likely Nick. Guys, we can trace Nick back all the way to Melissa's first fashion show of Envy. I posted a couple of photos of them on, I think, YouTube and my Instagram, HW Historian. So go check those out. He was part of the very first Envy fashion show. He's been around a while. There were lots of photos of all of them, Joe, Melissa, the whole crew. But when the allegations surfaced, they took them down because people were commenting like, they were tagging Melissa, they were tagging Joe Gorga, and they were saying some pretty foul stuff. So, yeah. I don't know, just a little bit of tea there for you guys. Also, I want to know what you guys think about the Up and Adam interview, and if you guys watched it as a whole. Please make sure you guys comment. I thought Marge seemed really, really spiteful. I think it's hard to interview, and it's hard to do interviews if you do recaps or if you're doing anything like this, it's hard to have people on your show because what do you do, right? But she seemed nasty. She seemed pissed. Even Jen Fessler, like in last week's episode, when she came to her house, like she was like, Margaret, you're acting like a 10-year-old, right? Talking about what Jennifer does behind the scenes. We've, I don't know, again, outing her, calling her a drug addict, more stuff that her kids have to hear because she smokes weed. Why does she even have to come? I mean, you guys are literally like exposing an affair of a doctor, okay? And now, like, this woman literally has nothing that Margaret has not dug up and broke the fourth wall, outed her for, talked about what she did off camera. I mean, there's literally nothing left that Jennifer could possibly be hiding because Margaret has outed her for everything. Meanwhile, we haven't met Margaret's kids. We meet her husband, meet like Lexi and Jen Fessler, but I mean, that's it. What I don't know. I couldn't finish Margaret's interview. She thinks she's smarter than she is, and I'm waiting for Trey to be interviewed by Adam later this week. I didn't know Teresa's doing an interview next week with Up and Adam. What? Marge only started cheesing and appearing pleasant after Adam said, I love you. When she saw he was a fan, she softened up. That's interesting. Wow. I mean, after she did like the whole marijuana comment, she went on Jenny from She Does Bravo and Plays, and she's also an activist for moms and cannabis. And she went on there, I think, to kind of clean up her act and to try to make sure she was staying in good attendance with the cannabis community. Just saying. Her and Lexi came out with like a spitzer drink now. Danielle's not going to put up with Marge's BS. I cannot wait. I think Marge is already coming after Danielle. I'm going to tell you guys why. Danielle is getting outed for things that happened again prior to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and prior to the show. I'm not sure how new or old, but allegedly, you know, there were things on her website that were from like Sheen, or like I don't Sheen, or like I can't think of the other website, and like her and her daughter were posing in them as if they were her own items that she had designed. A lot of like knockoff Louis Vuitton belts and bags and wallets and things that were blatantly knockoffs. They weren't. It was, you could tell they were knockoffs. Now, allegedly, you know, corporations don't like this. That's a very true. They will come after you. You will have to pay fines. Melissa Gorga paid a fine to Chanel when she was selling fake Chanel bags to customers at real Chanel bag prices. Then these people had to go and leave reviews just to get her attention to get their refunds back. But she had to pay Chanel over $10,000. So it's likely that if Danielle was selling these knockoff Louis Vuittons, she would be probably stuck paying a fine as well. She took them all off her website, but that doesn't stop people. You guys know that people have screenshots for days. I just got some really good tea on Twitter. I can't wait to share with you guys, but I want to upload the photos first. So tomorrow, make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, because tomorrow I'm going to drop the other tea about Melissa on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Let's see here. It's funny Danielle is getting heat for this, but Marge and Melissa don't get called on this stuff and how awful they do this. Marge literally said, wait until you know what I know about you, when talking about Danielle and Melissa's party. Yeah, the account that came out with the actual photos is like an anti-Teresa account. It's not even like a mutual, just Real Housewives of New Jersey account. It's like a anti Melissa and Louie account, which, you know, Marge, you guys know, right? So it would make sense that if bad stuff about Danielle's coming from the same content creator, the same person's probably that leaked the stuff about Teresa and Louie is leaking the stuff about Danielle. So then that would just be my guess. I'm not sure. It's a possibility. I want to see the screenshot. I don't know if Bravo has this screenshot, this overhead photo of a screenshot between Lexi, Melissa, and Margaret, where Melissa blatantly pretty much admits to, you know, the hanky panky. And somebody took a photo of it. Allegedly, it was Margaret's other assistant. Do you guys remember the other assistant Margaret had for like 7 years, and she was from Canada? Margaret shipped her ass back. Because I think she's the one that leaked the photo or took the photo and got it to someone who leaked it. Because she felt, again, had a moral compass. Like sometimes the people that are working on these women's teams, like they know how dirty they get, and I think sometimes they have a heart. I mean, I'm just saying, like Jennifer has taken it on the chin. Bill's taking it on the chin. They're in counseling. You can tell Bill hates it, but I think it's a good environment for Jennifer to be validated in her. I said it before, guys, like, you know, to come home and go to the pool house and not come in the house and check on her. Like, yeah, he's an asshole sometimes. I think like the money is just supposed to keep her happy and quiet. But I think they'll get through it, and I think they'll have a better marriage for it, because Bill looks like he needs to learn a couple communication skills. So if this is what gets him into counseling and gets them talking, then it'll be well worth it. It might be the best thing that ever happened in their relationship. I feel bad for their kids, though. I really do feel bad for their kids. And Margaret just does not let up, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, I don't know, when you're outed for, like, she is out now, does she feel funny around other mothers that they know that she smokes weed? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they looking at her crazy if they don't smoke weed? Like Margaret is? Are they like, oh, my kid can't come to your house because you smoke weed? I mean, I'm just saying, like, is that, I mean, that's how I would be like, maybe looking at them like, are they looking at me like they don't want their kids around me or something? Like, Margaret was so harsh about it. I just was astonished. Jennifer's problems are normal people issues. After 20 years, 4 kids, this is hard, but they will get through it. Marge is just evil for real. I completely agree with you. I think that they love each other very much. They're very committed to each other, and that's obvious. And I think that's why they tried so hard to put a crack in Bill and Jennifer's marriage, because it is so solid. And they hate that. They're really jealous of, I think, her and the fact that, you know, he is a hard worker and they don't have to worry about money. People get jealous of that. When other people live paycheck to paycheck, they get jealous of people that don't. I'm just saying they do. Also, guys, what do you think about the ladies? I felt like they were pressuring Teresa to invite Donna Marco. Did you guys feel like that? They were like all centered around her. I don't know. I just felt like that was a little weird. Because like Teresa said, if you invite the mother, you got to invite the sisters. And we know how the sisters were at the christening. So remember when Marge said to Jen that her husband sleeps in the pool house and has a mistress? That was way back like 2019. I think that maybe David from Behind the Velvet Rope, like, I think him and Jennifer Aydin were really, really good friends. And like, I don't know maybe how Marge knew that back then. I don't know. I don't know how Marge knew that. She knew a lot of stuff about them, though. She did. Just like when she called that lady on Instagram, that Gabriella account from a long time ago, Marge, like, called her the name of the lady who Bill had the affair with. She had like a foreign name, and Margaret called this Instagram account, accused the woman of, you know, being Jennifer, and was like, oh, and what about so and so, right? And it was the nannies, or it was the lady that Bill had the affair with. The business office manager was the name of the lady. So Margaret had the lady's name. And I think that Jennifer made a great decision because, like, she had no choice when Margaret brought it up. She really just was, like, caught off guard, I think. And that's why Margaret even did it in such a shitty way, because it's not like Margaret told somebody else and then they told Jennifer and she had a moment to, like, think about what she wanted to do about it. Margaret just called her right out to her face on camera out of nowhere at the beginning of the season. Like, that was shitty. That was shitty. Okay. You know, she gossips a lot to get this info. People just don't get this info. You have to work for it. I agree. And she has the advantage because Marge, you know, sometimes people need to be like validated, and they will like hang out and be groupies or assistants or whatever. And, you know, people have yes people around them all the time. Margaret's one of those people. Look at Sonia. I love Sonia Morgan, but wouldn't she like have assistants come work for her, and she like wouldn't pay them at all? She'd be like, listen, like, you get to be my assistant. Like, I can't pay you. You get to be my assistant. You should be paying me to be my assistant. I kind of feel like Margaret does that with people. Like, I don't know. I just something's off there. Something's a myth. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but something's off. I did not like Rachel Fuda repeating it. I feel like producers told her to do that. And she looked a little scared after she did it. Um, I loved Bill and Jennifer's new shore house that they were like close to the party scene, and they were like excited that they were like right on the corner bar. And Jennifer's like, you know what? It was fully furnished, and I was like throwing the bed sheets. And I thought that was so funny because, like, I don't know, in the older days and the older episodes, like Teresa and Joe had a shore house, and like the shore houses weren't fancy. Like they were shore houses, right? They're just where you go on the weekends and swim, and like it didn't have to be fancy because it was really just for the summer, for 3 or 4 months out of the year, on the weekends. And it was more like a place where you could relax and not feel like you were in, you know, like in a mansion. You were just in a house, and you could get sand and mud on the floor and it wasn't a big deal. And so I really love that about Teresa and Joe's shore house when they had one. And I kind of got that same feel from Bill and Jennifer's shore house as well. And I really liked that. Dolores, what do you guys think about Dolores before we hop off here? I mean, what do you think of her and Polly? I hate to say this. I love Dolores. I wish her all the happiness in the world, but I just don't like how she is with him, or so there's something like that makes me, I don't know. She looks beautiful. She looks amazing. Her hair, her body, her tan. I mean, down to everything. She's killing it. She looks amazing. Dolores looks amazing. But there's just something about, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't place my finger on it. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's her. I don't know if it's them together. I want to see how he is with like the group around her. Um, and he has a nice ass apartment. He's like a nice penthouse. Yeah. And I wonder if they're gonna give Brittany any confessionals. Brittany is Frank's girlfriend, and she's also Rachel Fuda's best friend. They met Frank together. They were training for like those competitions like Teresa did with the bathing suits and the muscle competitions. And that's how they met Frank, the gym. So they've been friends for a very, very long time. And a lot of rumors that Rachel may or may not have like kind of dumped Brittany to try to be besties with Melissa. Did you guys know that Melissa's older sister is like a really great singer, like an amazing singer? She sings at the casino. Do you guys know that? Crazy, right? So crazy. Also, I mean, did you guys feel like it was like Louie like running for Donna Marco? I don't know. Like, I feel like he really wanted to try to bridge a gap with Melissa's family, especially after seeing tonight's episode and what we know about him going into business, allegedly, like giving Melissa's cousin this loan. Well, not a loan, it was because they were going to be business partners because he believed in her and her idea. And then now we see this episode where he's like really rooting for Donna Marco to be invited to the wedding. So much so that like all the women are lined up and staring at Teresa, like, invite her. And then like Louie takes off to go find her to let her know that Teresa gave the okay to invite her, which just seems kind of awkward, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that Louis just really wanted to try to like, I think he knew that they didn't like Juicy Joe, right? Melissa's family. They knew that and plus their whole family, like when they had that whole fight at the christening, like Joe Giudice's mom, I think allegedly punched Melissa's sister. Like there was family feuds going on between the Giudices, the Gorgas, the Marcos. It wasn't just the christening. Like, they were ripping microphones off. They were pissed. Like, it was a crazy, crazy time. So I think Louie really wanted to be the husband that the Marcos liked and said great things about, especially because they didn't really care for Juicy Joe. And I think that, unfortunately, his efforts go um, unseen by the Gorgas, by Melissa and Joe. And even looking back, like, Melissa's talking shit about Louie, and Louie's rooting for Donna, like he's known her his whole life. Like, and Melissa's over here talking shit about him. I don't know. It just seems a little crazy to me. What's sad is Louie seems genuinely wanting to make things better, and they shit on him. I know, it's like they like basically hustled it, and Louie's really trying hard to make things better, and yet all they do is talk crap about. I know. I feel bad. I do, because I think that he was just trying to make things better. Also, guys, look, I got my namaste pictures. Look at my shirt I wore it tonight for you guys. And I like ran to, can you guys see it? It's my namaste. Oh, hold on. The camera's like backwards for me, but it's my namaste pictures t-shirt podcast. I ran to the mailbox to get it, so I wanted to wear it tonight. I was excited. But yeah, guys, I just want to hop on real quick, talk about Housewives of New Jersey. I'm going to be dropping a video tomorrow with more tea about the Gorgas and Louie and money. And we might talk a little bit more about Danielle Cabral, the things that we're hearing. And yeah, guys, so make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. Check out my new podcast, Housewives and Headlines. It's on all major podcast outlets except for Apple, because I screwed it up, but I'm getting it together. Thank you so much, Yo-Yo. Thank you guys all for supporting me. I appreciate it so much. Hit that like button, and we will talk soon, guys. Oh, Kim D said once with David that Joe Gorga is jealous of Louie. I 1,000% agree. He's apparently more successful than him. It's not even successful. It's like, I think the Gorgas, the well has dried up, honey. Let's not forget, when they came on the show, they had like $120,000 in American Express debt, that like got for like went to civil court over because they stopped paying on it. Like, I don't know. I just don't think the money's there like they want us to think it is. And so it's not even about success. It's just about being able to keep up the facade and pay the bills right now. I think Joe's struggling. I think New Jersey is not an easy place to be a construction worker. I think that he probably is doing good, though. I would say, like, with Bravo. See, I already got something on it. That's why I don't get white, but I'll just bleach it out. Damn it. I wasn't even going to wear it that long. That's why I had a jacket over it, because I'm so freaking messy. Oh, no. I should have got black. Oh, well. All right, guys. Hit that like button. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.